Now, thinking about touch as a sense, again, I'm going to talk you through my original sentence, my thinking behind it, and then areas where I've either upscaled my language, so I'm looking at more interesting vocabulary, or areas where I have added some really interesting grammar and punctuation. So my original sentence was, walking over the uneven surface of gravel and dirt, I reached out my hand to balance myself. Now, again, as a straightened sentence, that's good in the fact that it's telling the reader what I'm doing. However, thinking about the descriptive element, walking, if we're talking about scaling of words, it's quite a boring word. So, thinking about the ideas that I've already given in my first sentence, I'm trying to intensify the situation. So if I said that I was walking, I would give the indication that I was quite calm, I was quite happy, but actually I've already spoken about feeling quite intimidating and a little bit daunted. So I'm going to think about vocabulary that may be a little bit more in line with that emotion. So that is why I chose to switch the word walking and swapped it for scrambling. So rather than walking over, I'm now scrambling over the uneven surface of gravel and dirt. Now, as you can see, before gravel, I have already added in an additional word, which is dusty. Now, dusty is used as an adjective. I'm describing the gravel. So again, rather than using the surface of gravel and dirt, I've incorporated some more grammar into there by describing it now as a dusty gravel and dirt, okay? Now the second part, which is the part which describes the carriage, which is this part here, you'll see that I've underlined a part of my sentence, the embedded part of my sentence with a green line. Now, linking back to the original request on the school website, I suggested that one thing that I'd be looking out for would be a relative clause. Now, I've purposefully included a relative clause here to give you an example of how you could incorporate one into your sentence. So, ignoring the green part of the sentence, I will read it for you. So it says, the carriage was cold to touch. Now, again, that's a nice sentence. It's telling the reader something about the carriage. However, by using a relative clause, I'm giving additional information, okay? So I'm describing the carriage itself. So I'm using, I'm using a relative pronoun, which is the word which, to describe the carriage. So the carriage, which now is understood to be mottled and rusty, was cold to touch.